Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Myth Busting, and 1.10 is out, which means we're doing our first round of 1.10 Myth Busting, and we're going to focus on the 4 new blocks that are added into Survival Minecraft in this update. Now of course there are also the structure blocks, but we're going to be focusing on the things that affect Survival Minecraft, and we will be running through some of the previous tests we've done before with the new blocks. Now what I wanted to start off with straight away was the crafting recipes for each of these new blocks, just in case you didn't know them, and it is the bone block that can also be crafted back into 9 pieces of bone meal. Now the first test that we're going to do is the classic, the will it spawn, so we're going to head over to the spawning area over there and find out which of these blocks mobs are able to spawn on. So if you're unfamiliar with how this works, we have a testing facility. On the inside the light level will be low enough when we hit the switch off like this that mobs will be able to spawn on it. So what I have to do is place all the blocks in there, then wander around until we get some spawns, and you see it takes no time at all. And we got some creepers, skeletons, and yeah, we can confirm that mobs can spawn on the netherwart block. So I'm not here to waste your time. The arena has been properly reset, and you can see that the mobs can spawn on the nether brick. So let's move on to the next one. And you can see sometimes when we turn off the lights we do get lighting glitches. You don't need to worry about that. There you go, it updated itself. You can clearly see that mobs are spawning on the bone block. And our last test is going to be a little bit different. It is the magma block, and this block absorbs the light level and emits it. So if we are to turn on the lights, then no mobs will be able to spawn in there. So what I've done is put the game into peaceful mode. This means we can't have hostile mobs spawn in. When we press this button, we're going to change it to difficulty free, and now the mob will be able to spawn in. So this means we can keep a low light level even in there, even though it looks like it's emitting light, it's actually not. That's just a property of the block. And so far, nothing has spawned. Now, in the development of the game, mobs could spawn on this. This is something that they changed in the pre-release. And it makes sense since mobs spawn on there and then eventually they die because they take damage on the block. So just wanted to confirm that mobs wouldn't spawn on here, and so far it looks like they don't. So we're not done with the testing of the magma block just yet. As you can see, we are clearly in the nether, and we're here to do a test because things are different in the nether with the magma block. If we go all the way up to this little platform that I built way above the bedrock ceiling, you can see that we're getting mob spawns. We got some pigmen, only a few. I probably need to move further away from the platform, and I have seen ghasts spawn on these as well, and I do believe, this is speculation though, that magma cubes and other mobs that can spawn in the nether would spawn if this were in the right area. But as you can see, the rules are different in the nether. I know what you're thinking, what about the end dimension? Well, here the rules are different. Let's go up above into the sky away from the end island, and you will see that nothing at all will spawn on this block. So it's only in the nether that mobs will spawn on the magma block. Our next test in this video for these new blocks is the classic instant mine test. We have done this for many versions of the game now. We basically go through all of the blocks that get added and we find out if they can be instantly mined. Now there's only 4 that have been added, so it's not terribly exciting. The one that can be instant mined though is the magma block. If you have efficiency 3 on your pickaxe, you will instant mine it. If you have efficiency 2, it will not be instant mined. Very simple stuff, right? And when it comes to the red nether brick, unfortunately you can't instant mine it. Now you can see over there is a beacon, there's another one down there. I have tested this with combinations of haste as well. There is no way to mine or instant mine the red nether brick block, and that is the same for the bone block as well. Now this is also true of the netherwart block, but what I found interesting here is that there's no apparent tool that works with this block. It seems that everything mines at the exact same speed. As you can see here, we're even using the sword and the shears as well as the shovel, pickaxe and the axe as well. So there is no actual tool that officially mines the netherwart, so that one is unfortunately always going to be as slow as breaking it with your fist. So another classic test, one that we did recently with 1.9. This is where we go through all of the blocks in the game and find out which of the blocks the beacon beam can go through, which is the ones on this side, and the ones that can't are over here, and all of the new ones, no surprise, the beacon beam can't go through them. So all 4 of those have been added to this pile over here. Well, it's been quite some time since I was last here. This is our Enderman pickup block testing facility, and they can't pick up any of the new blocks. I'm telling you that now because I've been hanging around waiting for them to pick up something, and they've mostly been dying on the Magma Block because they will actually walk onto that. But this makes complete sense because the Endermen have a whitelist for what blocks they can pick up. So in order for them to be able to pick up these blocks, the developers, when they added them to the game, would have also had to have added them to the Enderman code as well. If it works the other way around, that they could pick them up by default, then maybe it'd be likely, but they've been in here a long time and not a single block has been moved. And here's another classic test. This is where we find out what blocks the Enderman will teleport to. So we simply summon them in, and then some water streams get activated, which cause the Enderman to teleport. And of course they're going to teleport right onto the magma blocks. I'll tell you now, they teleport onto all the new blocks that have been added, but this one is the most comical. So let's activate the machine. There go the Enderman, there goes the water, and they start teleporting across, and then they start taking damage. Look at these guys. If there is one thing that never gets old in this game, it is playing with TNT and blowing things up. And that's exactly what we're going to do, because for my next test, I want to investigate the blast resistance of each of these 4 blocks. Now, I don't have access to the game code, so I cannot give you any specific numbers, but the tests, I've already done them. They give us a clear indication of which blocks have higher blast resistance and which one have lower blast resistance. So, what these command blocks right here are going to do is create this shape, which is a solid. It's going to have a hole in the middle to go directly to the middle of this 9x9x9 cube, and in there it's going to summon a primed TNT. So these tests will give us a rough idea of what each of the blocks are like. So there goes the TNT, then it explodes, and there goes all of the blocks. You can see that the magma block right here is a low blast resistance, as a lot of the blocks were destroyed. So here goes the netherwart block, and what we're going to do is check out each of the explosions. You can see this one's crater is a little bit smaller, but we're also going to collect all of the blocks that survive as well. And here goes the bone block. I don't know why, but I expected this one to be a little bit fragile, but you'll see that we're doing these in a specific order. The blast crater is once again even smaller. And here is the red nether brick, the most resistant of all. There goes the explosion, and you can see the smallest blast crater yet. So these numbers are telling at the bottom of how blast resistant each of the blocks are, and they're actually very consistent with some of the other tests that I've been doing. And so that lets you know that the magma block is the least blast resistant and the red nether brick is the most blast resistant. It also occurred to me that a comparison would be a good idea. So you can see here dirt is similar to the magma block, lapis is similar to bone block, and stone is similar to red nether bricks. Couldn't find something that was quite the same as netherwart block, but if you try out all the different blocks you'll find there's quite a lot that go in between these varying degrees. These next bits of information are relevant if you saw my 30 secret changes in Minecraft 1.10 video. I recorded those during the pre-releases and I didn't catch some minor changes that happened in the full release. One of those was that the netherwart block would pop off when in flowing water, which it no longer does, and nor do any of the other blocks. And another change they made to this block as well is that it will now stick to slime blocks. So before it would just, stay where it was and ignore the slime block. You can see that changed on the full release. And one last thing this video that I want to investigate is the magma block and where it spawns in the nether. As you can see, we're looking at the nether, but this is a program called MCEdit and it allows us to analyze all of the blocks in the game. So it says on the wiki that these can be found between Y27 and Y36, and I believe those numbers may come from the game code, but it's actually possible for them to spawn outside of that. If you have a look over here, we've selected from the very bottom up to Y23, and if I click Analyze, we can see that the magma block exists. It is number 213, and there's exactly one of them in this layer. Now remember, I have selected a very large area, so when we go up to the next bit, which is Y24, you can see that there are now 1,301 blocks. So that is the lowest level you could possibly find them at. And if we go all the way up to Y37, I believe somewhere around here is the highest that I can find them at. So 230,000 on that level. I believe Y38 is the last of it. There you go, that number has increased again. So when we go up the next time, if this doesn't increase, that's the highest that it's going to be found at. So up we go one more, and you can see the numbers stayed the same. So those are the levels that you're going to find the magma block at. So don't go anywhere just yet. I got one tiny more little change to show you, but I do want to say that's it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. As always, thank you so much for your support, and check out the myth busting playlist if you want to see more of these awesome informational videos. And yeah, the other thing is, which I noticed when I was doing the blast resistance stuff, the name of these have changed. They used to be pink stained clay in the previous update. They're now pink hardened clay or lime hardened clay. Just a small little change that I noticed and I thought I would share with you. So yeah, anyway, that's it from me this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.